Hello, my name is Angela and this is your channel Serendipity Art, and you are going to be seeing I'm going to be doing the 30 days of sketches of Christy Beautiful Life series number 9 that she did in May. I was unable, but I was determined. This is the sketch that I am going to be using. It's from Creative Scrapper, and the designer is Amira Doria. I'm going to be using this picture. I am going to be using these from Basel. They're very old. Also, this is my mind's eyes, a specialty paper. Here you can see that I have the sketch. I'm going to use some Basel paper. These two paper, one is We Are Memory from 2012. One is GSD, Berry 2011, and the other one is Fancy Pants and it's from 2012. So I'm trying to use things from my stash. I haven't decided which sides or color I'm going to use, and I apologize if my camera moves a little bit because it's kind of close. So I gather all my papers like you see, and this yellow one that looks like it, since I have two doilies, is from Basel too, and I'm gonna have my two doilies there. This picture, and here are some of the embellishments that I'm going to use. There is a plethora of things. It's not that I'm going to use. There's chipboard titles, mini letters, bling, enamel dots, and a lot of things, ribbons, a little cap, frame tags. Like I say, I pick up all this and I make this kit with my sketch in mind. I have flowers. Since the sketch got flowers, I'm going to use some fall leaves since this picture was taken during the fall. And this is all the things that I am planning to use to make this sketch that you see here. Let's see what are we gonna end up with if I follow the sketch to pretty much as it is. So here I start cutting the branding strip off of my paper, and then I'm gonna gutter the paper like I usually do. I always leave an inch of each side and gutter the other ones. So I do this on all four spaces. I turn my paper because the other side is too busy. I wasn't able to see where the cuts were. I think I left this part in because of some people in another video asked me how I do this. It's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have. And if you don't cut it completely, you can use your scissors and then cut, half the paper like I'm doing here. You see the parts that didn't cut. So this is pretty much what I'm doing here. And I guess I'm struggling with it because the paper gets a little flimsy once you take the center out. Then I decide to use the Basel, and that one, the cardstock, is the Swiss dots. It's like a very light green. I cut it 11.5, then I flip it over and cut another 11.5. So you're gonna have an 11.5. There you can see my face. Because I'm sitting, I'm a stand-up scrapper, but I usually don't do. And then I am going to take my distresser that is from Heidi Swapp, about 20 years old, and I'm going to distress the edges because that's a signature, and I like the organic look that gives to my layouts. And I do it to all the edges. And then I'm going to take the other one and I am going to also do the same. As you see, it's better to glue this part to the cardstock because the paper is more easy to handle. Then I am going to take the Distress Archival and I am going to distress the edges because I couldn't find my vintage photo, but you can use any brown ink if you preferred, Stampin' Up, any brand that you really like. Or if you don't like to distress, you can leave your papers clean and simple. So I usually love to distress, and it goes through faces. And once I have that done, I'm going to glue to my cardstock to the base the paper that I got it. And then you kind of like eyeball it. And I kind of try to see the measure that is pretty where it's supposed to be, and I tried there and it didn't work. So the good thing about the ATG is that give you a little bit of time for you to before it's become permanent. Then I have my foundation made. Now I am going to show you how I cut the circle. This is specialty paper for my mind's eye. This is from EK Success. It's the circle cutter system they have. It has groove, and you use this little tool and then you cut the size of circle that you wanted. I use this kind of look like rattan pattern, and I'm going to distress it because you know I distress most of my papers. And because this picture was taken during the fall, and I wanted to give the feeling that those two doilies that are in the sketch, I am going to make from it like a sunflower. I am going to use the Distress Archival ink again and kind of get that white cord, because it makes your paper pop better and bigger. Not bigger, but better from the other papers, especially if you layer. I love to layer papers, so I like to do. Now I'm going to use my basil. I'm not going to distress this because it has a lot of scallops, but I am going to use my ink because the color is a little too brighter of what I wanted, so I'm going to use, and I am going to add the distress ink all around this, and these two are representing the doilies in the sketch. I'm trying to follow the sketch. There you can see that it looks like a sunflower, so I am gonna glue these. I forgot to round the corners, so I use in my creative memory. I like to round the corners since they're scalloped, so I give them a uniformity of everything, you know, having the corners at least of this one round. And since I was able to do it, so now I am going to use my little cloth, and then I'm going to glue my two layers that are supposed to be the doilies. Like I say, my whole purpose here is to make a sunflower. And then I use again my little cloth because I used to use my hands, but then if you have ink or something, you're going to smear it all over your papers. So I centered that circle, and then I am going to cut the three. There's two layers of paper underneath before the picture. So what I do is I use the green that is the back of that frame that I use, and I'm going to use this We Are Memory, and I'm trying to stay in the colors that are in the paper. Like you see, one is 4.5, and you can see the measurements there. I'm using my exact ruler. Then I cut another. I decide to go with 3 layers instead of 2 because they kind of blend into each other. So instead of using just the 2, I decide to add the script one to make it pop better. Once you got the 3 layers, all you have to do is you don't need a big piece, so you can save that piece, put it on your scrap, and use it for anything else that later you need to do. And I'm showing you measurements again, so you can see there the measurements is all the different papers as I cut it, the layers. And that one was a little too long, and I wanted the script paper to show a little more, so I cut a little more of it. So I don't know if I'm going to show you how much it measure. I guess I do. And there you see. Now I'm going to do my favorite thing, I am gonna distress scuff the paper, and then I'm gonna use my distressed archival ink to add color to the edges, because this is something I do and I dearly loved. And there you can see me that I'm using my little brush to add the color to make it pop a little more. Now I have, if you see the papers are not perfectly aligned, I want them to be a little kind of crooked, because I don't want a perfect. I use some of that paper to kind of mat my picture, so to give my picture, it won't blend with the other one. Now I'm kind of, before committing, looking how it looks, and I decide that this is what I want. I'm sorry if you are one of this. Even though my papers are crooked, I want the paper that is going to go in the base to be aligned with the doily. And there you can see me using the ruler again. I am not an expert in measuring, and here I use the whole pad to add. I didn't want to distress, I didn't distress, so I only wanted to add color. I add some, and I glue the picture. I make a boo-boo, yes. I kind of put the picture where I wanted it, but I forgot that I wanted to use, and you see me using my little cloth. So I realized that I forgot to add the foam that I use is fawn foam, and I try to use similar colors. This you can find in the kids section. It's better than using a bunch of 3D or your expensive tape. So I kind of cut it like it goes. I put it down, and I use the adhesive that comes in it, because it adheres better than the other one. So once you stick, this is gonna stick. So make sure that you got it on the position that I want. And it gives them a little bit of dimension, but not as much. I think it's 1/4. I'm going to use these. These are from Basil's. These are pre-made borders. I'm folding in half because I'm going to put them in the sketch. It has these scallops. I'm using my sticky dots. I love these things. And I am gonna put this. It's supposed to go in on between the green and the black, but for some reason I changed my mind and I put it on the black. And I apologize that you can see all my grays. I have to cut my hair, but I didn't realize, and I didn't want to again. So I put it there. And you see with the specks, the little specks, it's so easy to do. And these you can find in Spectrum Art. And I have a discount code, so you can get. I got the second piece. I just layer it on top of this. It's micro tiny dots of like micro glue dots. And here I realized that I did the other one wrong. It's supposed to go into the green. And I'm trying to deal. I ripped the paper a little bit, but it's nothing that it's going to be seen. So I cover my boo-boo, and I like it better with this. So I'm going to take the other one, and I am going to remove it from where it is again. And I put this, and then I realized that I put the scallop in the wrong. I am trying to secure everything that is in the paper, in the layout, so I don't get, I don't gonna put anything down there, so it's there. So I use my cloth again, and there I realized that I put this in the wrong place, another boo-boo, so I'm not perfect. And then I decided to put it in the place where it's supposed to go. I'm going to continue then doing this, and I fixed that. Now I have everything in place, and like you see, I have the layers, and I change my scallop where they're supposed to go. I decide to put the title, and I want to put it where it's in the sketch, but it's too big, so I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the archival ink, and I am going to just try to kind of distress it a little bit. And then I take my scissors and kind of round it so it doesn't have any kind of DS. It looks like I didn't cut it. This one was supposed to be pop-up, but I want it flat, so I add some of and I put my title, Pretty Smile. I'm not smiling, that's the way I smile usually. Then I decide to use this girl. I have this girl forever and ever. I don't know where it comes from. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna use it. It's a girly layout. It's a layout about myself that I want to add. And I add a little bit of dimension because remember, you have the foam underneath, so you have some dimensions, so that way everything is perfectly balanced. And then, like I say, I'm gonna use this faux leaves, and I'm gonna use my dots, my sticky speckled dots, and I'm gonna put it just on the tips, and I'm gonna add 2 of these leaves in here underneath. Then this was a flower that I disassembled because it was too bulky, and I'm gonna start layering on top of the 2 leaves. I wanted to use this orange, and then I wanted to kind of make it very natural, so I don't want the petals to be perfect. So you can see me arranging the flower, and I add all the layers. Here is the top layer, and I have my flower. Then I'm going to use this circle flare with a camera and put it there. I have this square, and I'm going to fold it in half because I like it to keep it balanced. And I'm going to make 3 clusters. The left side is kind of heavy, and also the title is heavy. But if you see the girl, the flower, and the title makes, I'm going to put half of the frame. You don't need the whole frame. And then the other half, I'm going to put it on the right side of the layout. So that create a balance in between them. It's not more heavy because you have to keep balance. Then this is kind of white, and all my papers are kind of in a cream color, so I use a little bit of the distress because I want a little place to where to journal. The journaling spot, it's mostly on top of the title. I thought I was going to put it on the bottom, but I changed my mind and I put it in between the word pretty and top where it shows in this. Then I have a little tag, and spoiler alert, it's not going to stay there. It says be happy. It's the same green. It matches perfectly. It's an epoxy sticker that I have, but it doesn't last, doesn't stay there. Then I have little paper flowers that I want to add into the side, and I am going to glue those. I have a little bit of a trap space between the girl and the frame, and I decide to just leave that for now, and I have that tag. I cut the half, and I just wanted to put that there, but it's not going to stay there, with another piece that says I think it says memories enclosed, and I decided to take that off. I didn't like it, so I put the one that says date taken, and I put on top of there. And then I am using my, guess I'm looking for my glue to glue the flowers. Oh, I'm looking for a sticker, and I have this sticker is from a journaling book that I have, and I use two little birds that kind of match with what I have. I use a sticker that says Simply Perfect, and I put it there, and then I put the bird on top. So that way I decide that that tag, it wasn't going to stay there. It throws it off the balance. I will have to make another cluster. So I use that memories enclosed and put it on top. Then I decide to use my glue and glue the flowers. I put two of the paper flowers in one little one that is a lighter color. What I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna use enamel dots, and they're in the green, like a green color. I decide to put 3 and 2 of the cluster. I was gonna put it there, but then I decide to put it in the eye, the dot of the smile of the eye, and then I use those, and I put those over there to kind of unify this cluster. And is there anything else I'll do here? I think I'm pretty much done. Oh, I'm going to use this as a Heidi Swap little numbers. They're in teal, and I use 2012. This is the time that it was in the fall of 2012. I don't mind that the numbers are not perfectly in order. And here you can see the sketch and what I did with it. You're going to see close up at the end. And I found another sticker, and I guess I'm going to put another sticker that says smile that I have randomly in there. I'm showing you the sketch and this, and you will see at the end close up of what I've done. I hope you enjoyed.